Hi guys, in this video I'm going to go through some personal and business finance practice questions for the Unit 3 exam, part of BTEC Business Level 3. So the first question, identify two sources of advice and guidance about personal finance. Now this question is a 2-marker, so you would identify two sources of advice and guidance. So some of the possible answers that you can give is Citizens Advice, Independent Financial Advisors, so IFA, Money Advice Service, or the Financial Ombudsman Service, FOS. If you were to give any of these two or any other two that you do know, then you would get 2 marks. Now this is a 6-mark question. So Nicolina has just passed her driving test. Her parents have bought her a car for £2,000 as an 18th birthday present. She now needs to purchase car insurance. Nicolina has been advised that different types of car insurance can be purchased. Discuss which types of car insurance would be best for Nicolina. Now this is a 6-mark question. So the model answer would be, so for third party, you can say that it's minimum legal cover in the UK. Some insurers might not offer this level of cover, and it might not pay, they might not pay if the car is stolen or damaged. Another type of insurance you can talk about is third-party fire and theft. So it covers damages of fire, it can cover damages for third party if you do have an accident, and it's a cheap way to build no-pay claims discount. And for fully comprehensive, it covers third-party damage if you have an accident, and it covers damage for theft if it's stolen, fire, and the windscreen. Now, as this is a 6-mark question, you will talk about these insurance and policies, and this would be the model answer to the question. Now, the next question is a 12-marker. So Daniel is married with a young family, and he's a homeowner with a mortgage, and he has 2 personal loans and outstanding balances on 3 credit cards. One of the personal loans is secured on his house, and his personal circumstances have now changed since he's taken on these debts. He now earns a lot less than he did before, and he can no longer afford the debt repayments. He has been served with default notices remanding repayment in full, and he has been advised to either apply for an individual voluntary arrangement, so an IVA, or to apply for a bankruptcy. Now, it's a 12-mark question, so you would evaluate both the IVA and the bankruptcy, talking about the advantages and disadvantages of both, and then which one he should apply for. So the model answer would be, the advantages of an IVA is that the debts are frozen, so by the end of the 5 to 6 years, he will be debt-free, and he's more likely to keep his assets. However, the disadvantages of an IVA is that his spending will be restricted while his IVA is active, and there will be high cost of actually setting up an IVA. The advantages of a bankruptcy is that it's a quick way to get debts free, and there is a cost involved, but it's a lot less than IVA. However, the disadvantages of bankruptcy would be that his bank account would be frozen for a period of time, and you hand control of your finances to someone else. So this would be the model answer in order to tackle this 12-mark question. The next question is, outline what a semi-variable cost is. Now, this is a 2-marker question. So the model answer would be, it's costs that are composed with a mix of fixed and variable components. Costs such as electrical charge have a standing charge and a charge per unit use. So the way you could go about the question is, 1, give a definition of what a semi-variable cost is, and then give an example of what a semi-variable cost is. And that's how you would get your 2 marks in that question. The next question is also another 2-marker. So outline what is meant by the term drawings in a financial document. So the model answer would be, drawings are assets or money that are taken out of a company by the owners for their own personal use. If you write that, then you've got 2 marks as to what the term drawings means. Now here's a financial question. So use the summary account above to calculate the gross profit ratio, and the net profit ratio. Now the model answer for this question would be, so first write out your formula. So gross profit ratio is gross profit divided by sales revenue. And then the gross profit margin, which is the same as gross profit ratio, would be £85 divided by £200,000. So then the gross profit margin in this question would be 42.5%. Then you work out the net profit ratio. So the formula for net profit ratio is net profit divided by sales revenue. In this example, the net profit is 19,500 and the sales revenue just as above is 200,000. So then the net profit margin would be 9.75%. Now, Bread Zeppelin are a specialized bread maker and they have provided some financial information. Their revenue is £280,000 and their cost of sales was 60% of their revenue. Now, using the information provided, calculate Bread Zeppelin's gross profit. So the model answer would be, to work out the gross profit, you do sales revenue minus the cost of sales. In this question, it's told us that the cost of sales is 60% of the revenue. So you do 0.6 times by the revenue, which is £280,000, and our cost of sales would be £168,000. Then you go ahead and follow the gross profit formula, which is the sales revenue, which is £280,000, minus the cost of sales, which we've worked out, which is £168,000. So then our gross profit would be £112,000. The statement of financial position and statement of comprehensive income has been given. Using the data provided, calculate the markup and the return on capital employed for dark secrets. Now, to work out the markup, you do the gross profit divided by the cost of sales times by 100. In this data, we don't have the gross profit, so the gross profit would have to be worked out, which is revenue minus cost of sales. So the gross profit in this example would be revenue, which is £330,000, minus the cost of sales, which is £95,000, which means that the gross profit would be £235,000. Then we go back to the markup formula, which is gross profit divided by cost of sales times by 100. So the gross profit, as worked out, is £235,000, divided by the cost of sales, which is £95,000, times it by 100, our markup would be 247.36%. Then to work out the return on capital employed, you do net profit divided by the capital employed times by 100. Now, again, we've not been given the net profit, so that needs to be worked out first. And net profit is the revenue minus the cost of sales minus any other expenses. So in this example, the net profit would be revenue, which is £330,000, minus the cost of sales, which is £95,000, minus any other expenses, which is £17,000, which means that our net profit would equal to £218,000. Then go back to the return of capital employed formula, which is net profit, which is £218,000, divided by the capital employed, which is £323,000, then times it by 100. So our return on capital employed would be 67.49%. Frying Nemo, a local fish and chip shop, have worked out that they need to sell 5,000 portions per month in order to break even, and their contribution per unit is £1.50. Calculate their fixed cost for the month. Now, to work out the fixed cost per month, you do break even times by the contribution per unit. So the fixed cost in this question would be 5,000 times by £1.50, which means that their fixed cost per month is £7,500. Leasing would be the most appropriate way to finance the purchase of A. Inventories, B. Company cars, C. Trade receivables, or D. Advertising companies. Now, leasing would be the most appropriate way to finance the purchase of B, a company car. Which of these formulas defines the point at which break-even output is achieved? It's either A, total cost equal total contribution, B, total revenue equals total price, C, total profit equals total cost, or D, total revenue equals total cost. The answer is D. The break-even output is when the total revenue equals total cost. That's when a business is neither making a profit or a loss. Hopefully this video helped you understand some practice questions and some example questions that you can get in your Unit 3 exam, and hopefully it's a good review for you. If you like this video, then give it a like and subscribe to my channel. If you want regular updates on videos and resources, then follow my Instagram. If you want short business revision clips, then follow my TikTok. And if you want this PowerPoint, then you can go to my test shop, all linked down below in the description box.